Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
I've got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars.
So basically what they're trying to do is just minimize all of this and move on from it. I mean, immediately after Caroline goes into the massive successes that the Trump admin
really
is
bad
having
thing
with the
that,
Department of Justice and putting away bad people, all of that
deep state
is great. I think we all would be happy that the murder rate is trending lower than it has in years under Trump. But that's not the point. That's not what we're dealing with right now. There were promises and there were little kernels that were dropped in front of us for months. And now it seems like everything has just gone away. And another thing that was really interesting in this press conference is that another reporter asked a similar question to Peter Doocy. And Caroline responded and said, well, you know, we can't really release anything because there are horrifying videos and they involve children. Like, we can't release child porn. But then the question is, like, well, okay, well, who is in those videos? Was it just Jeffrey, or are there other people?
There was way more people involved.
But there are people that are on
with
camera.
The Epstein
like, it's just
list.
like there's so
more
many
than just
unanswered questions.
The Epstein list has everything to do with Bill Gates,
like, go away,
Fauci,
don't talk about it
Klaus
anymore.
Schwab,
We're moving on. It's
COVID,
obviously going to piss
Hillary,
off the American people.
Obama.
And it's unfortunate because they might
it goes on
actually
and on.
be telling us the truth. There might actually be nothing there except Epstein.
What leads to Epstein leads to the globalists, the eugenics, the vaccines, the COVID-19.
Like, ever since his death, the government and the media has made it very clear that the cameras were not working that night, that they could not see what was going on. Everyone reported that fact, including the FBI. It was on Fox News, it was in the New York Times, it was on BBC. Everybody reported this fact that the cameras malfunctioned, something happened. They could not determine whether somebody had come in and out of his cell to not rule it a suicide. Now, conveniently, in 2025, years later, they apparently have 10 hours of footage that they just released to supposedly show that nobody entered his cell. Now, there also is a 1-minute discrepancy, apparently, like almost as if it's midnight, where it just completely skips, and there's a minute that is missing, which they don't have an answer for. But, like, where did you get this footage in the first place? Now, apparently, the camera is at a different location, and it wasn't, like, exactly over his cell, but the story was that there was no way to tell. That there were no cameras were working, that it was this crazy conspiracy. Like, how? How did this all happen? You let us believe that. The media led us astray. And now you're just going to drop these 10 hours of footage and go, oh, there it is. And you're just going to expect that people are going to have questions, that they're not going to be critical or be concerned at the way that all of this, like, played out. And also, what about the infamous little black book? And if you don't remember, Ghislaine Maxwell was Jeffrey Epstein.